Hello there, thank you for joining us on Inside Lagos. I'm Adedoja Salam Adeniyi. Today we're bringing you the royal visit to Lagos, where the Duke of Cornwall, Prince Charles, visited Lagos and the top Lagos state government officials welcomed him at the airport.
Why you speaking Oyinbo? Oyinbo, you dey Lagos Oyinbo. If I carry you go banana, my guy, you go love Lagos. If I carry you go to Elegushi, you go love Lagos. If I carry you go Niru, my guy, you go love Lagos. Sepe see the police, Governor Ambode Kofoshi, helicopter low for Loki. You cannot deny, you know see. Father Keresi la tèmi ṣá, ọmọ Keresi wọlé bá. Kó dùn kó pọ̀ kó pẹ́ làwọn tèmi ṣá. Ìtẹ̀síwájú Èkó làwọn tèmi wá. E never finish, ọlọ́pàá don get new motor. E never finish, èyí tẹ̀rí yẹn ò ti pọ̀ tó. Oyinbo, Èkó ló wá Oyinbo. Oyinbo, why you speaking Oyinbo? Oyinbo, you dey Lagos Oyinbo. If I carry you go Ikeja, my guy, you go love Lagos, yo. If I carry you go Badagry, my guy, you go love Lagos, yo. If I carry you go to Lagos Island, you go love Lagos, yo. Ele jamo, ele tiko, ele bajano. Central of Excellence, lewa in case you don't know. Mijaye, Mimale, Mijaye, Mibele, Mijaye, Kaka kiri do basumi malole. Riding through my city, hustle in my city, made it in my city. God bless my city. Oyinbo, Èkó ló wá Oyinbo. Oyinbo, why you speaking Oyinbo? Oyinbo, you dey Lagos Oyinbo. If I carry you go Korodu, my guy, you go love Lagos, yo. If I carry you go to Ekpe, my guy, you go love Lagos, yo. If I carry you go VGC, my guy, you go love Lagos. Sepe see the police, Governor Ambode Kofoshi, helicopter low for Loki. You cannot deny, you don't see. Sepe see the police, Governor Ambode Kofoshi, helicopter low for Loki. You cannot deny, you don't see.
The Duke of Cornwall's plane touched down at about 12:08 p.m. at the presidential wing of the Murtala Muhammed Airport's domestic wing. Lagos State Deputy Governor Idiat Adebule and other top state officials are here to receive him. This is the Duke's fourth visit to Nigeria. He had made 3 previous trips in 1990, 1999 and 2006. Activities attended by the heir to the British throne in Lagos include the Naval Birds, Business Community Roundtable, British Council Festival, and a reception at the British residence, Ikoyi. At the Business Community Roundtable, the Duke's meeting with the business community focused on business and sustainability of the environment. The Duke talked about damage to the environment in West African countries, especially with plastics. His Royal Highness said he was looking up to the business community to do something about environmental degradation and save the next generation and not simply make money. He said, and I quote, "If nothing is done, there will be multiplier effect on the growing population. Otherwise, we will disappear under an enormous mountain of wastes." End of quote. The heir to the British throne also noted the dilapidated state of historical monuments.
He'd spotted that a lot of these buildings, when they were not looked after, this is not accounted for. And his view was all of the ways that the environment is negatively affected should be accounted for, so that there's an element of accountability and that we are able to measure change, whether it be negative or positive, and then work to support positive change.
We also engaged some of the businessmen and women after the meeting.
The key thing is getting the buy-in of businesses to understand that they can both be sustainable and be profitable and be sustainable. There's no exclusivity, one over the other. And what we do in the Global Compact is to support businesses to understand how their practices will enable them run responsible companies, at the same time helping their communities focused on climate change, human rights, labor, anti-corruption, and ensuring that they have long-term sustainability goals. The meeting with His Royal Majesty was very enlightening. It was very engaging, and it was very interactive. And he shared with us his own past experience with sustainability issues and why he believes that business has a responsibility to foster sustainable business practices for the good of community and for the good of the world, really.
When you talk about sustainability, it's also linked very much to acting responsibly and thinking about the future, because our world and the resources are not endless. There's a lot of damage being done, and if we don't take the necessary steps now, our future generations will pay for the responsibility of this present time. So much of what we've discussed is as to regards how things can be done differently, how companies can change the way they operate, how we can bring things into play that will preserve our environment and make things better for future generations.
I had the chance to have a brief discussion with His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales on the opportunity that he saw particularly in Nigeria on fostering the development towards renewable energy sources. And that means specifically in moving industries, in moving communities off the diesel generator and move them towards solar energy. And I thought it was fascinating that he contributed to this group of business leaders from Nigeria some of his experience from other geographies that have already benefited in moving towards more sustainable practices.
And I think the conversation was incredibly energizing, because despite the difficulties that Nigeria faces, it's apparent that there's a lot already going on. There are lots of good practice, there's a lot of innovative work, there's lots of committed individuals that were here able to speak to His Royal Highness today, but that also spoke to seizing challenges and transforming them into opportunities.
From the roundtable meeting, the Duke of Cornwall was welcomed at the Naval Dockyard by the Nigeria's Chief of Naval Staff, Ibok Ibas. He boarded the NNS Ekulu for a naval demonstration.
The visit is an encouragement to the Nigerian Navy, and for us, I think having visited, we are aware the various exercises that have been conducted by other partner nations. We've had the French navies visit us, we've had the German as well as other navies. If I recall, the last time we had exercise with the Royal Navy was about 3-4 years ago. Perhaps with this visit, we can see more participation of the Royal Navy in our sea exercises.
Then it was time for the Royal to interact with those in the creative industry at the British Council.
at a time like this where there's so much happening negatively in the world, a visit from a country to another country is well and duly appreciated, in the sense that just to foster friendship and, you know, douse tension, and I think it's great. First of all, he came out here, he recognized the various industries, he was happy to be a part of us and recognize, and it was great. I think so far it'll go a long way in boosting the image of Nollywood, in the sense that people would see that, I mean, someone of that notable repute recognizes and appreciates the industry, and therefore everybody should.
The world is a global village, they say, and the more the villagers meet and talk and communicate and share ideas and laugh together and shake each other's hands, the less hatred there can be, the more opportunities for growth, for trade, for prosperity. And so I think that in terms of looking at it that way, it's very significant, and I'm honored to be here. It's very good. I mean, we had a great chat about music. He asked some good questions, and it's good to share ideas with somebody obviously who has tremendous power, and also to see that he's, you know, he said he loved Pidgin English, and just see the impact of what Nigeria is doing and where Nigerians are going, but also to sort of, you know, share our own side and the achievements that the music industry has done, and that is very, very exciting for us to have been able to, you know, say a few words to him about where we're doing, and he seemed very excited and very blown away about it.
I was actually very shocked that he definitely knows his music. He had there are terms that a musician or someone who knows music will use, like, you know, syncopation and things, and he used those words, and you could tell from his voice that he's probably seasoned, and he probably knows, he's a royal, he knows how to play the piano and things like that. But it was because he talked with us for a while. He shook my hand, hallelujah. So, you know, it shows that he has a huge interest in, and he was like, oh, I wish you guys had an instrument so you sing, you know. So that just shows that he definitely knows his music. And one thing he mentioned as well that I thought was very significant is that his favorite thing about Nigeria is the language, the pidgin. And, you know, he asked if we infuse that into our music. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I started as a musician who would probably just sing in English, but you really never know how much of your culture that you're pushing forward when you are able to infuse things that represent you. So I thought that was something remarkable.
Before now, he has seen a little of the industry, but he didn't know the size and the potential and the impact and the contribution of Nollywood in the Community of Nations, and we were able to open his eyes.
Aside from celebrating the 78th anniversary of the British Council in Nigeria and celebrating his own 70th birthday, the Duke of Cornwall is in the country again to experience the richness and diversity of Nigeria and to help promote the British investment in youth, jobs and equal opportunities. This is the highest level of visit anyone can get from the UK, as the Duke's mother, the 92-year-old Queen of England, Elizabeth II, does not travel anymore. The Duke of Cornwall and his wife Camilla, the Duchess of Cornwall, had visited Gambia, Ghana, and also met with President Muhammadu Buhari in Abuja on Tuesday. The Lagos visit ends the royal family's 9-day tour of Africa.
Micro, small and medium enterprises in the country have been enjoying some benefits under President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. Trader Money is one of the product loans under the Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program. The Trader Money scheme is designed to help petty traders expand their trade with collateral and interest-free loans. About 2 million petty traders are expected to be empowered by December this year in each state of the Federation and Abuja. More than 800,000 traders have been captured so far and given 10,000 Naira loan, repayable within a period of 6 months. Under the scheme, beneficiaries can also get access to a higher facility ranging from 15,000 Naira to 50,000 Naira, which could be repaid seamlessly. Then Vice President Yemi Osinbajo was in Lagos to launch the Trader Money Scheme in 3 additional markets in Ketu, Oshodi and Bariga. He was accompanied by Lagos State Governor Akeumi Ambode and Lagos APC governorship candidate Babajide Sanwo-Olu. The trio interacted with the traders.
The whole idea is that the president wants to ensure that the traders that are at the bottom of the ladder, people whose wares and inventory is just about 3,000, 5,000 naira, who normally don't get any kind of financial assistance, and the people that the banks will not give any kind of credit because they have no collateral. I wanted to ensure that they are not left out in what we are doing in our microcredit scheme. And that was how we started the Trader Money program. And as you know, it has gone to several states. And the Vice President came to Lagos today to see what was happening in 3 additional markets. In Lagos alone, I'm sure we've done several markets. The Vice President came to these 3 markets just to see what is happening and to interact with the traders and to assure all Nigerians, as a matter of fact, that this is going to go around. In the first iteration of it, we will do 2 million, and after that we will take it further. So between now and December, we would have given to 2 million petty traders. Already we've done close to 800,000 petty traders out of the 2 million. We've enumerated all the 2 million so we know who they are, and it's just a question of disbursing. Like I said, we've disbursed over 800,000 of the intended 2 million for the first batch of the Trader Money scheme.
We are so happy to see our Vice President in our markets. We are happy and we thank God that the Lord opened the book of favor for us. We thank God for today. And the favor we are seeing in Nigeria through our President and our Vice President, we praise the Lord for it. That they remember each and every one of us. All of us are thanking the Nigerian government for it. We are seeing that they have reminded us in prayer. In the development, we thank God. On the money they are giving us, we thank God.
For this, our Vice President, where he come today, God go bless her. And God go bless our Pikin. And we thank God for the money where they give us. God will continue to bless them in Jesus' name. They say every Monday, they go come, they collect 400 for our hand. He pay us. Thank God.
I'm happy, but we want him to improve more. We want him to improve more.
He's going for the second time.
He's going for the second time. We love him and we appreciate him. We want him to improve more. This our market. This is too expensive for us. We are working by the roadside. We can't afford 900,000. Let them avoid it for us. Let them reduce the money for us.
We thank God for our new president, and we thank God for Mr. Osinbajo that come to the Leko. Please, we want to beg him and repent that this our development, he should reduce it because of we did not have that money to pay. And we thank God for the money that they bring to us. We thank God because we use the money to invest our business. And the people that have not collected, please let them see so that everybody can have enough money to invest in their business. And we thank God for them.
We're happy for the new development, but what we need is that the money is too small. We need more money. And an issue on ground is that we are hearing our opposition parties saying they are using that privilege to campaign and all that. They have been there for good 16 years. Why didn't they use that privilege? So the privilege they are using now, we are very happy. But what we need is that we want that money to be more bigger than that, so that the market women can use that money for great things to make use of.
With Nigeria recovering from recession, this scheme, if properly implemented, will go a long way in changing the narrative in the economy.
And that does it on to this edition of Inside Lagos. Many thanks for being a part of it. I'm Adedoja Salam Adeni. See you next time. Bye-bye.